Hamnet is a story of how expression and connection can be embedded in our being and used as a form of healing. The 2025 film adaptation, directed by Chloe Zhao, begins with Agnes Hathaway, a woman with a deep connection to the forest who harnesses power from the earth and the lineage she came from. And Agnes meets a man, a teacher, an artist, awkward, who'd better express himself through storytelling, and his name is William Shakespeare. Spoiler alert if you aren't familiar with this story, I'll give you a moment to scroll away. The film is about grief after loss, and in particular, the couple's son, Hamnet. Hamnet and Hamlet are interchangeable, and therefore naming the famous Shakespearean stage play was deeply personal for the playwright. The storytelling in this film is so layered that it's rooted in the human emotion and how we express or process it differently. Agnes is the oldest daughter in her family. She's standoffish, but passionate and whimsical, likely due to her mother's influence on her, whom she lost at a young age. She also carries clairvoyance, which is interesting to me because it arguably leads to self-fulfilling prophecy. There is foreshadowing in this film used in an interesting manner that entices us as the audience. There's a moment near the end of the film, as the stage play of Hamlet comes to a close, when Hamnet, the son of Agnes and Will, is basically a spirit existing between worlds. He stands in front of the play's set, which resembles the woods, a blackened gate centered in it, and a hawk flying above. The setup is given and explained to us throughout the story in pieces, as Agnes had a connection to a darkened cave surrounded by trees and roots in the forest. That same spot was where they held a funeral for her hawk, and an unconventional exercise to accept the hawk's fate that really pulled out a beautiful sensitivity in Hamnet as he waited to see the hawk spiritually flying above. And then, of course, there is Agnes expressing what she sees within Will, her own fate, seeing two children at her deathbed, and Hamnet expressing his desire to be on stage in one of his father's plays, with Agnes saying that she sees it for him. And in the end, Hamnet was there in spirit, whether the soul of his own or living in the character Hamlet, and we see the hawk flying above him to confirm that he was where the hawk is, in the different plane of existence after this one. I love it because Will, having a grief-ridden conversation with Agnes, says that Hamnet must be somewhere, and he was right. Agnes responded to the passing of her child with defensiveness towards Will, which he understood, and Will took this push to drown himself in the storytelling, the only way he knew how to really feel and process, after being victim of abuse by his father and even likely navigating complex emotions of that loss, and not just of his son. For Agnes, experiencing the play in person was frustrating, confusing, but ultimately cathartic. And regardless, you have to see Jessie Buckley's performance. She's gonna win the Oscar for this.